I agree with you with the Knicks. Like which is dumb because they still have a young roster, but they're gonna treat it as if like they need to make at least the Eastern semifinals this year or it's a failure.
Yeah,
Like
that Brunson contract, I understand why the Knicks felt like they had to do it, but it's still just $110 million. I hope Brunson lives up to it because it's awesome to see a Villanova guy perform on the biggest stage. But at the same time, I just don't know if that backcourt of Barrett, obviously I don't know, but I'm not optimistic about that backcourt of RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson working out well. Um, Cam
Neither am
Reddish
I.
is
I agree.
Cam Reddish is already asking out of New York. And then
So that'll be
Tom,
his third team in 4 years.
yeah, and Tom Thibodeau is just going to run his veteran guys into the ground just to get an 11-10 seed, if they can even get to a 10 seed and get into the play-in. So, with that being said, it's just I'm not optimistic about the Knicks at all. I think Brunson's a good piece to build on, but I think they have to get rid of Thibodeau first to really unlock this team for them to be as healthy as they can be and for them to be as productive as they can be. I think they really need a new voice on the sidelines.
I agree. It's like a Thibodeau cycle. There's like a quick corollary is that in uh European like professional soccer, there's a coach. He's a German coach by the name of Thomas Tuchel, and he's essentially like Thibodeau, not so much like in the styles they play, but in how he comes in, changes the team's fortunes. But within like a year and a year to like a year and a half, 2 years, he has just rubbed so many people the wrong way. He gets results, but then slowly but surely he just grinds these guys down, whether it's through too much playing time, through just being a general hard ass, and he starts to rub shoulders like the wrong way with the upper management, then after the players, and he eventually just wears his welcome out, loses any support he has, and by the end of like the third, fourth year, it's just like, all right, Tom, thanks, but we're gonna go somewhere else now. And
Yeah.
then he sits on the sideline for a year or two, and then inevitably someone's gonna be stupid enough to give him another chance. That is Thomas Tuchel to a T, except Thomas Tuchel never has to wait as long. And a more North American equivalent would be John Tortorella, who
Mm,
Flyers fans are going to be suffered to deal with, but that's not the least of their problems. Anyway, so
yeah.
I just think that this is the last chance. Like I agree with you. It's an Evil Knievel kind of like they're going for it. They could make the playoffs, but I don't know how Barrett and Brunson are going to get together. Who's playing D there? Like you said, there's already infighting. Julius Randle, was that just a fluke? Probably, but who knows how many people are going to be pissed off? Like, is Brunson, when Brunson doesn't like when it's like December or January and they're like barely over 500, are the fans going to get unruly and be like, what the fuck? Why do we give them this? Like, because like I don't
Yeah.
think they understand what they did. Like, I love Jalen Brunson. He's not a number one, and I think these Knicks fans are thinking like, yeah, we got him, but they're gonna have these expectations, and then when they're not met, they're gonna turn on the guy, and it's gonna be like, well, what did you expect?
I think he can be what Chris Paul is now, as in a very good floor general, can be a good
Mm-hmm.
leader in the locker room, and can get guys the best shots possible, and maybe can rip off like a 10-0 spurt, a 12-0 spurt, 13-0 spurt by himself and change momentum of games. That being said, I do think that the Knicks need a piece to be the certified scorer and the bucket getter, which Julius Randle is not. I think he needs another star to play off of, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe Brunson is that guy. But
Or Barrett takes a leap,
Barrett, I really hope RJ Barrett takes a leap. I'm really rooting for him, just to see him, be a. We've talked about on this podcast numerous times, allowing players in any sport to develop, and RJ Barrett definitely fits that mold of a guy that should be allowed to develop and has
Mm-hmm.
developed the last couple of years. With that being said, I just think that they need something at the shooting guard spot, maybe even the 3-2. It's just going to be maybe Barrett fills that 2 guard spot, and he can play both positions if you really need him to. Obi Toppin, what are we going to get from Obi Toppin?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We haven't even talked about Obi, and like it's like, yeah, I think this is another. He's another one where it's kind of like this is a make or break year, unfortunately. And I'm not saying it's going to kill his career, but it's. I think Thibodeau is probably the last person that he needed as
He's
a
not
coach
going to
when he
play
first got
Obi
into the
Toppin.
league.
He is not going to
No,
play
but
Obi
the Knicks
Toppin.
fans want him to play, and that's the problem. But what is he? You know, I guess is the best thing, like because he doesn't have a great shot, and it needs to be developed if he's ever going to become it, and he's going to need that. He's not a great ball handler, like, and you know, in college you can get away with that kind of shit, but like, there's only certain people that can get away with that stuff in the pros. Kenny Martin was one of them that figured it out because he was a phenomenal defender for years, and that he even developed like a little bit of a low post game and had an okay shot. But Obi doesn't really have that. And so, and he's even not that athletically as much of a freak as people would like to think. I like him. I would like to see him succeed. I just don't know if it's going to be there or it's going to be something like they let him go and then he ends up on San Antonio when they're starting to round back into like another 10-year run, and fucking Popovich works his magic and he becomes like a more athletic Leandro Barbosa or something.